Scunthorpe. This is a new tick, believe it or not. I'd forgotten this one. So let's get off as soon as the doors are open. Ah, we are. Right, it's sunny in Scunny. So let's see this one head off. It's a little bit late, but not much. One coming opposite side, but we'll watch this. I'm not going to go straight. I need to go out the station to make it count. So yeah, there's one coming opposite side now, but we'll have an hour here. There's a crossover down there for the local Doncaster service to turn round. Wasn't planning on doing a vlog today, but since we've decided to come here, I thought we would. I suppose the reason they passed them here is so that they could obviously just turn them around and go straight back from this platform or cross them over if needs be. When there's engineer work on the terminator service here. Seems a strange place to get a Trans-Pennine service somehow to me, but it's nothing to do with sort of Huddersfield and Leeds and York and that area. It's a totally different area to Humberside. So anyway, that's off to Scunthorpe's. It's not the same one we're going to get back, but it is another double formation, it should be. So let's nip out now and have a look at the town. Scunthorpe, tick. First time we've been here, and actually out of the station. So let's have a look at the town centre now, see what we can see. Okay, we're in the town centre now, one of the main shopping areas, and it's a bit deserted because it's after 5 o'clock now, nearly past, and it's left it a bit late to whatever. There's a Greg's there, I think it's open, but yeah, we'll head straight back on the next train in about 3/4 an hour, 40 minutes. There's a memorial of some sort here to Scunthorpe steel workers. So yeah, it's interesting. Look at the bike. It's a grand little bike, isn't it? Something a bit familiar up ahead. It's SD. Let's have a look in there, shall we? See if they're still open. Right, I'm heading back to the train station now. So, town centre and Sports Direct all down there. So, yeah, we left it a bit late ready to come here, but anyway. That was largely down to Trans-Pennine Express screwing the Huddersfield Leeds stopping service up. Just hope we can get back, but we'll see. Right, almost back at the station now. Not so sure whether Scunthorpe isn't one of these sort of new towns that were created in the late 50s and 60s, but I might be wrong. Like Milton Keynes and Skelmersdale and wherever else. Here we are, Scunthorpe. We need to get down there to get in the station. Just have a word with this driver, this coach. I think this is a local service. Right, back on the station now, and there's a freight here struggling to get through. It's probably fully loaded from Immingham, I would strongly suspect. That is working hard, that. Imagine repair 37s. wagon's all vandalised. I don't know who's doing it. We've been through here in the past, obviously, but this is the first time we've got off and got into the town to really take the station properly. Some years ago, 1994 to be exact, in July, we were parked up over there on a rail tour. It was an absolute disaster. The Roxby Music, so called because it went to Roxby Gullet, which is a mile or two down that way. There's some rather smoking chimneys down there, isn't there? That's not very environmentally friendly, is it? Don't look it anyway. There's another down service coming in, because obviously they pass here, don't they, as good as. So this is an hour later to what we arrived on. Doesn't seem to be going to Manchester Airport, they don't actually. I don't know why, but because the one we're waiting for now is going to Manchester Piccadilly and terminating there. I mean, they can just change obviously quite easily, jump off a Piccadilly, go to the airport, but it's not as good as a direct service. Just reverse the Piccadilly and straight out to the airport. So our train approaching. I think the platform's around long enough today, just about. It's half a carriage dangling off the end. So this is not the same train we arrived on, it's an hour ahead, because it sits at Scunthorpe, about half an hour roughly. So we'll get this one to Doncaster, see what we can get to go home. Definitely took Scunthorpe this time, so let's continue on to Doncaster. It's only one stop. The local service is a bus. It appears to be a bus at all times because either Northern can't be bothered to run it, whatever it is. There's a line at the far side there. We did that Roxby Music tour. It's got a decent shine on it. Someone must be using it. Set of trap points there. Not far off Crowell now. And we've had a swim in the river here some time ago. About 3-4 years, is it 5 years ago? It's a few years ago anyway. Not sure exactly when it was, but we did have a swim in that. It wasn't quite as overgrown and full of greenery when we did it, but we did. And we walked it from Pontefract all the way down here to Crowell. We're going very slow because there's a freight in front of us, which you saw at Scunthorpe. It's about time the local service was reinstated. It's a bloody bus, it's ridiculous. If you're just over there, you can't just straight over to the. It's ridiculous. You've got to go over that new bridge. No footbridge over the river. I think the wheels of our train are lower than the canal here. It's not the most interesting of lines, isn't this, from Barnaby to Doncaster? It's sort of straight-ish, but it's just so flat. That's why the canal's here and there's no locks on it, because it's just like a billiard table. This part of South Humberside or North Lincolnshire, whatever it is now. It's Humberside to me. It just is. Because I've been Humberside so long. I think some people call it Lincolnshire now, but anyway, crossing into South Yorkshire. Not very far. Well, Swan's there. This is Thorn down south. Massively over-engineered bridge. I had thought of getting off there and walking over to Thorn North, but since there's a bus service there, there's trains at Thorn North, but I couldn't be bothered. See that freight train in a few rows. Coming up to where the landslip was now, a few years back. You'll see the back end of that freight train shortly. There's a local service from Hull to Doncaster that's in front of us, and it's just called at Hatfield and Stainforth, and now it's got in front of that freight, so it's on the slow line, so we should overtake it. It's just ridiculous at the moment, its progress. Should be in Doncaster about a minute or two ago. Right, we're passing that freight train now. That's the same one we saw go through Scunthorpe just before we left. Time it's been sat there, it could have just turned right and gone across towards Alnwick Junction. Anyway, we're going to overtake the Hull Doncaster local shortly, because that's just crossed over in front of us to the slow line. Why they couldn't just held that on its own line on the Thorn North line just further back, sod knows, but they didn't. It does make you wonder what signal we're playing at, it really does. Zero common sense. It's common sense to let a faster non-stop service go in front of something that's stopping at every station, surely. Let's see the next train shortly now. It's not sure what it'll be, probably a 158 or a 150. Won't be a pacer though, will it? So it's a classic pacer service, is that just a local Hull Doncaster or Scunthorpe Doncaster? Used to be Scunthorpe Leeds reversing at Doncaster back in the mid-late 80s until the fully wired leads, and of course it made sense to use the overhead wires, so split it. His toe down at all, is he really? It's a lot faster as this line than this. There we are, it's a 158. So that's the local Hull Doncaster. You should get the feather on that signal to come back to the land, otherwise you'll end up going to avoiding the Doncaster East avoiding line. That's where Mark and Main coloured it, or Baldy coloured it, that way. There's no way to go down there. Right, we've made an unofficial stop here at Kirksandall on this one. There's a freight further up that's stuck, going no further. It's not actually a freight train, it's one in that track machine. I saw it at Scunthorpe but didn't video it, so we've been allowed to jump off here on this one. We have. So we might possibly be able to get that 1905 off Doncaster for Gould, unless it's the same train that's stuck at just behind this one. Now then, I got a lift from Kirksandall to here at Thorn North. Sadly, the next train into Doncaster is not until 2038, so I've got 50 minutes to mess about here now. As even for going the other way towards Gould or Hull is even later still, so I've got nearly 2 hours to go that way. So we're just stuck here now, and that freight's moved, so the TransPennine one will have moved on. We couldn't know that. It's a case of how long we're going to wait. We've no idea, so we just did what we did, and that's it. So we'll get the next train to Doncaster, and hopefully we get to Leeds, and then back home to Cottingley. Let's do it. Back on the station now, and just been for some food actually. Very nice at the pub just down there. King's Arms, was it? Something? Forgot what it was. Anyway, looking towards Doncaster, which is the way we're going to go, and that's looking towards Hull and Goole. Now there's a level crossing here, but you can't just use it ad lib. It's got to be supervised by railway staff, which, as you can see there, isn't that often, I don't think, because it's technically a green tick station in that respect, when you can use the crossing to get to the other side without using the footbridge. But there are some steps over the far corner there down to the road level where we were earlier. But yeah, at the moment it's a yellow tick station, which means you've only got access this side, which is a bit unfortunate, but not a lot we can do. But obviously most people can use stairs. Anyway, train should be in a few minutes. Let's get on it. Right, next train approaching now. This will take us to Doncaster. We'll change there for Leeds. I'm hoping to go direct to Leeds, but we shall see. This is just 2 or 3 minutes late, but not much. 9:08, so it's a former Metro 158. Approaching Thorn Junction. Look at that sunset. That's fantastic. Is that up there? Platform 0, which we've done before. We've got the road straight out again and all. Platform 0, so let's head over to, is it platform 4 or 8 it'll have to be, won't it? 91, eh? 91, 124. So we're good on this one to Leeds. Not an Azuma. Much better than an Azuma is this. I'll keep these in service as long as they can. Well, we did it. A 3-minute connection, which actually was a 0 because the working timetable was 45 and the actual time of arrival was 44, and we're out at 47. Here we go, Cottingley. Battery on the phone's virtually out now, so this will be the last shot now as you get to Cottingley. Okay? Right, made it. Cottingley. That was some connection at Leeds, that was. Right, we'll let this train play us out and then home. Right, there it goes. 2J82 to Huddersfield. I can't use a face camera because it's too dark. It doesn't light up properly, you can't see me. So anyway, end of video, cue music. See you in the next one. Bye for now.